You are now live, it says. Let me see if this works here. You go live and you're always wondering if anybody's going to show up or not. So you just kind of sit and wait, anticipation. I don't know, can you hear me? Of course, it's still, oh, it's 6:30 right now. Okay, people. Staging, maybe it's not working well. Well, we've been live now for a couple minutes. If nobody shows up here in another minute or two, I'm going to go. Well, okay. Did I not make it public or something? Maybe it's unlisted. But that's what the problem is. Mhm. bet that's what it is. Live now, got 24 viewers. Nobody's here. Ask me some questions, guys. Let me know you're here. Tammy, I can hear you. There are?
Yeah. But
Oh, I don't have any questions. Is this thing not working right?
I don't know. You've got people asking you questions and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's wrong with this thing? New software, glitch in the new software.
It says, Brett, we're here. Can you not hear us?
I
And
can't
it
hear
says-
you. Wow, or I can, there's nothing showing up on my chat.
Here, you want to use my phone?
No, I can do it here. Let me do it here. I think I can do it here.
30 people on.
Wow. This stupid thing.
You want your phone?
Yeah, or get me, I thought I could do it right here.
Here's my phone.
Let me see something. Yeah, hand me your phone.
This is my phone.
Make sure you stay way over there and stay off camera.
I turned it on mute, so you might want to turn it back on.
Okay. Oh, wow, here we go. I don't know if something's wrong with my software. It's not showing me any questions. Hey, Reed. Thanks, Seth. Hey, guys. Lachi, did I pronounce that right? Raul. Oh, thank you, Raul. I enjoy doing them. I really, tell you the truth, I put it off for a long time. I didn't think I would like going live, but I enjoy seeing all you guys. Cord from Wyoming, it's cold up there. Lachi is from New Zealand. That's a long ways away. Hey, Robert, how are you? Reed, can he not see us here? I can't. I couldn't. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Real like these things. How do you do? Raul, good. Old Brett from Florida. Wow, down there in the swamps. Northern Bushman. Hey, what's going on? Mitch Walter. How are you? Gerald Custer. How are you doing? Reed. How do we make him see that we're here? I got to get my wife. She keeps me going here. Greg Fairhill. I enjoy watching your videos. Oh, thanks, Greg. West Virginia houndsman. Have you ever trained a hound to run only one type of animal? I have tried. I mean, at one time, I just wanted to run lions. I mean, I just, from the guys that, I talked to and everything that, they didn't want to mess with bobcats or anything else. And, because most of them were guiding lion hunters, and you don't want your hounds to get off on something else when you're guiding a lion hunter. And I just decided, I'm not really guiding lion hunters, and these dogs, I've been trying to get these younger dogs trained up and get them on enough game, and I think they just need to see some things in a tree. I used to run coons a long time ago when I had the farm down in the valley down here, and we had drainage ditches, and the coons would get pretty thick on those drainage ditches. As you can see, it's technical difficulty. Yeah, it's amazing that I can even do this. I know. Like I said, I'm pretty old, and I learned all this stuff on my own. Okay, Rob, yeah, we're here. Okay, I'm catching up. Hello. If I miss you, I'm sorry. I don't do it on purpose. Yeah, Lionel, your wife is the brains of the operation. Yeah, she's also the motivator. She's the one. I came in tonight. I didn't sleep good last night, and I've been working here all day. I started I don't know if you can see it. I started an Amazon store, like a storefront. And if you click on that link, it's in the chat, or it should be here. I can do it again. See if you get this. Well, that's not even working. Anyway, I went through all my Amazon orders since 2006. And I just shared a lot of the books and a lot of some of the gear that I bought. I still got a lot of stuff to put on there. But I thought maybe, if you buy something through that link on Amazon, if you use Amazon and you buy something through that link, then it helps the channel out some, it helps me out. Buy a sack of dog food. Maybe not a sack, maybe a little bitty sack. Rose looking for a mule local in New Mexico. I'm thinking, bro. Let me think about it. I think I heard of one for sale. Yeah. Southern Idaho Chesapeakes. You mentioned you raised Airedales in the past. Have you ever used them for lions or bears? No, I tried to. And that was back in the 80s. And I didn't do any good then. Matter of fact, I was right across the river from where I live right now, down here in the desert. And I tried to hunt everything. I bought scent and I laid drags. I trained them to trail. I did all kinds of things. I inherited a kennel. It was called the Caring Heart Foundation. And this doctor raised these Airedales to, he used them for therapy, as like therapy dogs or something like that. And he had a heart attack and he couldn't take care of them anymore. And he was going to put them all, he called me, he said, you either take them or I'm going to put them to sleep, and I had already bought one dog from him, and he knew I'd had Airedales since I was a little kid. So I took like 20 something Airedales, built kennels, and we did everything with them. This was with my ex-wife, and she groomed. We took them in and groomed them. I took care of them. If these owners that bought them from us, if they were going on vacation or something, then we would take care of them or kennel them while they were gone. It was kind of a big deal, but it was kind of a pain dealing with those kind of people. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, so you can go, and I'm going to keep adding things to there. There's the main section of it is the books, and I still have a lot of books to add to it that on that Amazon store, and all the books I've read and kind of things that you can look at a guy's book collection, you can kind of see what motivates him. I got a lot of hunting books, a lot of dog books, and then I also have a lot of like long rider books, from these guys who've rode, made these long rides across the country. That really fascinates me. Hey Frank, how are you? Yeah, those Broncs and Donks, they got some mules. I don't know if they got any gentle ones, but they got a bunch of mules. What's not showing up on your phone, Cord? Is it that link? Well, now the hunting weather has been really good the last week. We went to Florida and had to run the AC in the truck this morning. Well, I mean, it gets a little warm in the afternoon here. I made a video I put a video out last Friday of what I did the Wednesday before that. And I had the terrace out. I had all the young male dogs, and typical having young dogs and free casting the way I do. We trailed a lion backwards all morning. Then I got the dogs, I turned them around, went back to where we started. Man, they started trailing out really good. Then the young dogs jumped a little old buck that was up there on the side. I say it was a buck. It's up there on the side of the mountain, and kind of screwed things up. But Booger stayed on the track. So, now's the chats coming through on my deal here. Yeah, now it's like an hour wait. Anyway, I went back, and I went back this last Saturday, and I hunted all day. Well, I trailed that lion all day again on Saturday. Not very far because it's really, really cold track. I figured that lion track had to be at least 3 days old. So I'll have that video coming out this Friday, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Desert Tramp, my daughter got that for me for Christmas, I believe, Christmas last year. She got it for me, and Yeah, that's a handy dandy little light. It's got a little remote control. So, you know, you can get in your cot and get down in your sack and everything, and then, you know, and have the light on and then just turn it off. And then when you get up, you know, you don't have to fumble around in the dark or anything. You just turn that light on. It's really handy. And it charges with it's a USB charge. And I mean, it lasts for a long time. Battery life on it's real good. I'll put a link to it when I find out which one it is. I'll put it on that Amazon store. I don't know what's going on, Cord. This thing, maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. I'm using another software to do the live, but it's an online software. It's not a software that I downloaded and put on my computer. So I'm not exactly sure how it works. Yeah, exactly, Desert Trap. That's the handiest thing. And then this Christmas, I need to put these things up there too. My other daughter got me a nice little headlamp that I've always wore, that great big thing that, man, you wear it all day, it gives you a headache. It's so big. And she bought me a real small, lightweight one, and then a little handheld LED flashlight with a band that fits around your hand, so you don't have to hold it all the time. It'll just sit there. I'm going to share those things. I need to show you guys those. My daughter does a really good job researching all this stuff. But both of those, that little bitty headlamp, I don't even know who makes it. Let me see. I got it right here. See, look at that. Doyle gave me that. I also got an InReach and got rid of my Spot. The Spot was, man, I couldn't use that thing. I just couldn't use it. And then a portable thing I can carry in my saddlebags. This is I forget how many milliamp charger it is. I can charge my iPhone. I can charge that InReach. I can charge my headlamp. Well, I don't have the headlamp in here. Oh, here it is. It's a Petzl. That sucker's nice, and it's little. It's not. It doesn't weigh anything. And it's got, all those other headlamps have, you know, a big old band that's really hard to adjust to get around your head. Like I'll go from wearing a cowboy hat to, you know, if it gets cold, I'll put on a stocking cap. And this thing has just a stretchy cord that adjusts. You can also wear it around your neck, but it's a lot better than any of those other headlamps I've had. And I used to wear a headlamp all the time when I lived up at camp. Oh, I got to get back on that. That's pretty cool. We got it. Okay, I'm getting caught up here, I think. Wow, that chat is like way behind. Now I think this chat is way behind. Anyway, I'll put a link to that on that and all this stuff. You know, I got a bunch of camera stuff too that you probably, unless you guys make videos or anything, you're probably not that interested in. But it's pretty big, but you know, Robert, it's not that heavy. It's not as heavy as I thought it would be. It's pretty light. I know the backpackers, this is the one that she said that they recommend. And you know, I try to save as much weight as I can on my mule because of the miles we ride. Thanks, Robert. Yeah, you know, if you use Amazon and you access Amazon through that store, and then you even go on to something else and buy something else on that, then they give me a bounty or something. I don't know, they throw me a bone. I'm gonna try, Marshall. I got tons of film that I've taken or video that I've taken. I just haven't edited. I say that every time. you do the InReach Mini or full size. I've got the full size one. I don't know. I probably really don't need the full size one because I carry the Garmin Alpha for my dogs, but it works good too. I mean, it's 10 times easier than the Spot. Matter of fact, I'm going to sell the Spot. I got the Spot X. That is the new one, that you can receive messages and then you can send messages out. But it doesn't work with your phone. And man, my eyes don't work that good anymore. And the keyboard, everything was so small on it, and it was not easy to use at all. I mean, it was just a pain. So I'm going to put it. I canceled my service with them, and I started my service with Garmin with the InReach, and it works really good. My wife and we used it last week while I was up in the mountains. It worked really good. What kind of SAD card reader do you use? Oh, SD card reader. Let me see if I have it. It's just one from my iPhone that I use, and it reads the cards fine. I got 2 game cameras that are out right now, and I don't know, it does all right. I got a lot of pictures of javelina. How many dogs do you have? Now you're getting personal, Travis. My wife's in the house. I can't say how many dogs I have. She might find out. No, I'm feeding 14 hounds right now. And I got one coming back. It's kind of a bad deal. Dan the man. I don't know if you've ever seen any of my videos with Dan. If you see the video of the big Tom we caught up here on Tenuco, I mean, he's up there in that Tom's face. He did a real good job trailing him. But I had too many male dogs, so I decided I was going to sell some. And so Boomer is a young dog that is going to a guy up in Idaho, Todd Gross. I pronounce his name wrong. And then Dan is about a 4-year-old male dog. And I kept Dan, and because I wanted to use him because of the way he was bred, I wanted to test him out, and then if he made a good dog, I was going to breed him and raise a set of pups out of him. It's kind of the way I wanted to go, and his nuts never fell down. He doesn't. He's bred, but he doesn't throw any pups. So I thought he was, I didn't really have any use for him, and he was doing good here. He trailed right along with Booger and everybody. He wasn't trash broke by no means. He would still run trash, and I sent him to an outfitter up by Utah, and he just won't work for him. He won't. First place, he didn't like the snow, and then he took him on some dirt tracks here, I guess this last week, and he just said he wouldn't stay hooked. He wouldn't stay on track, and he would just float off and not pay attention. And I really don't know what's wrong with him, but he always hunted with Booger, and him and Booger were kind of partners. I don't know if you've ever had dogs. Sometimes those dogs just pair up and they work together. And maybe he just was a tag along. Maybe he needed Booger to tell him what to do. But I seen him pick up loses and stuff. So I don't know. I'm going to get him back, and I'm going to really watch him, see what he does. Dang, that's a lot. Travis Roundy, how many dogs do you have? Yeah, that's a lot of dogs. I agree. You should have to feed them and clean up pens, and then you really realize how many dogs it is. But if you hunt as much as you're supposed to hunt, if you hunt as much as you need to hunt to be successful on dry ground, it's hard. I mean, those dogs get tired, and especially the way I hunt. I free cast and I ride big miles, and it's you need a lot of dogs. I mean, you could get away with hunting 3 dogs at a time, and then rotate, maybe. But I hunt 6 or 7 dogs at a time. I like to have a lot of dogs on the ground. I can't complain about the Garmin. I use the Alpha and a couple other products. They've been good to me. I have 2 collars being refurbished now as we speak. Yeah, I love the Garmins. I mean, and I started back when we just had the beep beep collars, and I remember when the Garmin first came out, everybody complained, said that you didn't have the battery life or the range that you have with the beep beep collars. And I still use a beep beep collar on, like I had one on Booger the other day. But dadgummit, you don't need the range, or you don't need the battery life if you know exactly where those dogs are. yeah, and as far as many dogs as I got, Travis, I rotate. I have an all female pack and then an all male pack. And I started doing that because I'd get a female bred by accident, so I just did that. And I got, the female dogs are really good trailing dogs. I mean, they really work out a track better, and they're not near as trashy as those male dogs are. Yeah, Gerald, I think that's what happened. I don't think he really knows what to do without Booger around. I don't know. I know, says I still have a Wildlife Materials I put on dogs every time out. Yeah, a lot of guys double collar. I mean, they put the beep beep collars on and a Garmin collar. I don't do that. I love my Harmon. There's online her, man. I still have my beep beep collar, and sometimes it sucks. You know what I mean? What I don't like about it is dadgum chasing. You get in those old deep canyons and in those big mountains, and you end up chasing that beat down a canyon. You might be going the wrong way because there's a lot of bounce. But the battery life and the range, that Garmin, it's a helpless feeling when you look down there and you don't have a signal on that dog, and you go riding around and you get up on the hills and you still don't have that signal. It's a real helpless feeling, and you just lost. At least with that beep beep collar, man, you work it a little bit and you can get a little doot, doot, and you just have that comforting feeling that if you work it enough, you'll be able to find that dog. The Garmins still need more battery life. Yes, they do. Just lost a dog in Colorado for 5 days. Yes. I got a video I should put out. I lost a dog and he had a collar on him, and I'm not sure what happened. The weather got bad and everything, so I still got a collar that's up there in the mountains somewhere. Had to show a young guy today how to use a beep beep box. He had it and didn't know how to use it. Yeah, these new guys aren't. I'm from Colorado. I moved to Pennsylvania a few months ago, though I miss it. I was talking to Marshall. Yeah, it'd be neat if the Garmins had the battery life. Had at least a couple weeks battery life. And I imagine the way the battery technology is improving, it probably won't be long and they'll have that. But still, the way I hunt, unless you're running bears, I mean, because a bear will just run you out of the country. And I try to avoid running bears as much as I can. But with the lions, I can kind of stay with the dogs for the most part. And I don't usually get too far behind them or too, unless we have a trash race or something. But I collar every dog that goes out. Not with a Garmin. I got 6 Garmin collars, so I collar 6 dogs with the Garmin. I'll put a beep beep collar on one dog, and typically it's Booger I put the beep beep collar on because he's pretty broke. I don't have to worry about him, running an elk over to Arizona or something. Okay, Reed, thanks for coming by. Thank you for coming by and visiting with us. Yeah, how long have I been on? I've been on about 28 minutes. Anyway, there was something I wanted. Oh, the Amazon store helps out. And then also I'm working on this. I talked about this on the first live that we had. There's a friend of mine, Seth Hall, that is going out and he's interviewing some of these sighthound guys, these older houndsmen that run sighthounds. He's into the sighthounds, mostly runs jackrabbits, but those guys run coyotes and everything too. And then I've got all these Dale Lee tapes. Yeah, I don't like to lose a dog. It hurts. It hurts all over. And what I'm trying to do is I have to do what Dale Lee's nephew tells me to do, and that's Mike Ashley. And I'm trying to work out a way where we can get some sponsors or some way so we can make all those Dale Lee tapes just public as a podcast or something like that. I talked to Buddy from W Supply, and he said that he would host it for me, which is a place to house it. and then I guess you share it on. I don't really know how to do it yet, but I've been studying a little bit about it. And then like iTunes and Spotify and all those those podcasts, they put it out, and then Buddy hosts it. The best I can tell, like the Sportsman Nation they host Bear Hunting Magazine podcast, and then also the Houndsman XP podcast. So like I said, and that they charge money to do that. And Buddy said he would do that, and Buddy's, he's got W Supply. He takes care of the houndsman, he is a houndsman. And so that's a good deal. But another way you might be able to do it, I don't know. And I don't know how much it would cost to get Mike to allow us to share those Dale Lee tapes or CDs. He sells them right now. And what he does is he sells them to me, and then he sells them to me like $180, and then I put $20 on it or something for handling and for what I do online. But man, if we could, I don't know, maybe we could get enough Patreon. I got a Patreon account or Patreon site, and if a guy could get enough guys in there to ante up, then maybe I could approach him and say, this is how much I can give you for each episode. Instead of just selling a box set for $220 or $190, whatever it is, say, I got 25 guys on Patreon, and I got, $5 a month coming in off of them, or each, or $10, whatever it is. And then I can offer that money to him, and he'll say, sure, put it up. And then I can make it available to the guys on Patreon, or maybe even make it available through the podcast at W. I'm still experimenting, or still researching to figure out how I can get it done. Let's see. Alex says, would a Doctra Pathfinder work where you're at? Work pretty good for me, but I don't know anything about those Doctras. I've heard about them, but I know it wasn't too long ago. There was another system that came out that was supposed to be the beat all system, but I don't know what happened to it. It's supposed to have big range and big battery life and everything. I never heard it. It wasn't Doctra. It was something else. Are you able to put any more up on your channel? I love listening to them when I'm heading down the road. No, I put those first ones up because I did. That's how I got to know Dale Lee's nephew, Mike, is I researched, and I couldn't find out anybody who had the rights to those things. And so I just started putting them up. I put them up on my YouTube channel. And what was 300 on Amazon the other day? Desert Tramp said there was 300 on Amazon the other day. Is that the book, Desert Tramp? But anyway, and I just started posting those videos, and Mike got a hold of me. He said, hey, I was searching on the internet, and I seen where my uncle had this. I heard my uncle's voice on your channel or whatever. He was real nice about it. I said, well, I didn't know any. I researched. I couldn't find anybody who had the rights to them, so I just thought I'd make them public, for everybody. So I think I put like 4 or 5 of them up, and then I quit doing it because he said, why don't you try to sell the CDs for me? So that's what I did. I sold a few of them. Then I gave them to W Supply to sell because I didn't really have, wasn't really something I don't sell things myself. So, and I was only selling a few boxes of them. So, and then it became kind of a problem for Buddy. Not enough people were buying them. And I think it was more of a headache than it was worth for him. So he quit selling them. So that's the story. That's where we're at. I would, if they were mine, I would make a weekly podcast somewhere, and just maybe if I could get, sponsors, like, I don't even know, it'd be really cool if you could get some of the big ones like Garmin or something like that, but I doubt they would mess with just a little guy like me that has hound dogs. Sport Dog Tech 2.0. I can't remember the name of it. Okay, Frank, just curious, Brett, how much weight do you think your mule carries, including yourself, on your day hunts? When I was riding my little jet mule, I weighed probably 235 pounds. I was a big boy. Now I weigh about anywhere. I get down a little less than 215, then sometimes up to 220. My saddle probably weighs about, time you put the breeching on it, the breast collar, my saddle weighs pretty close to 28 to 30 pounds. You get the blankets on there, you're up 35 pounds, you know, probably 35 pounds. I use, I don't know if you've ever seen my saddlebag setup. I got what is it called? Mountain Ridge Gear. I use their saddlebags. And I don't carry everything on the back of my mule is fairly light. I don't believe in putting a lot of weight on my mule's kidneys. So I have my wool blanket or my wool, whatever you want to call it, jacket. And I have some survival stuff in a little bag. And then I keep, you know, just, I need to do a gear dump. I need to pull that out and make a video with a gear dump showing everything that's in it. And then I have those horn bags that Rustic or Mountain Ridge carries. And then there's a little pouch. And I carry my waters, and I carry a camera, and I carry my lunch and everything, and my snacks in the front of that. So probably for 30, 260, you know, we're up probably around 280 pounds, I bet, or maybe more. But old Big Agnes, she's a big mule. She can handle it. And Jet, my little mule, man, that's the toughest animal I've ever been around in my life. Aiden said, really would be nice to get them all digital somehow. Oh, my new pick doesn't even have a CD player anymore. Oh, I know. Well, that would be something you could do if you have a smartphone and there's a podcast. That's what I do now. I don't have my phone in the room here, but I don't watch hardly any television, and I listen to podcasts. So you download podcasts. So you could download the podcast on your smartphone, and then if you have your new vehicles, I have that Bluetooth where you can just pipe it right into the stereo, or you hook it up with a little wire and it plays right over your car. I mean, I think that format with Dale Lee telling those stories, I think it's ideal for a podcast. Yeah, I'm going to do a gear dump. I got lots of plans. I got video of us building our kennel from the very start. When me and my grandson went out there with my backhoe and we cleared the mesquite and laid the wire down on the bottom, and I filmed everything, and I still haven't edited it. It is hard to do everything, because then I get here like, I've been home for 2 days now, and the weather's good. I'm antsy to get back out there with the hounds. I need to catch a lion with these dogs. Let's see, we've been going for 38 minutes. Frank and Robert Pierpoint he's asked me to do a gear video on what I carry and what I have on my mules. So, and I have videoed some of that before, and it just, the audio always came out bad, and I didn't have a good camera angle or something, and it just wasn't something I was happy with. So maybe I can get my grandson to help me, and he can video and help me with the, you know, monitoring the audio to make sure it's good, and then put something together. It's pretty simple. I mean, I did some trips earlier this year where I went out and I stayed a night or two just on one mule, and I carried a tarp in my sleeping bag and a bivy sack. And then I don't like mountain house meals. I just don't care for them a whole lot. I have a lot of them. I don't use them, but I have it's called Next Mile meals, and they're really, really good. They're a little expensive, but it's just a dehydrated meal, and I can carry 4 days worth of dehydrated meals in my saddlebags. You know, it doesn't add hardly any weight. Yeah, binge. Whenever you want. Benji, I guess I'm saying that right. Benji, would you do a Q&A on training techniques? Oh, that's another thing. I talked to my wife's, she's real camera shy, but she's brought me some of those Next Mile meals. I can't reach them, Tammy. Anyway, Benji asked, would you do a Q&A on training techniques? I have lots of video on how I work with my dogs, from teaching them to get in their kennels, to load up, to come to when they're called, to wait and not just bail out of the box and knock you over when you open the dog box. You know, trying to interpret what you're seeing when you're out there in the field, and you know how to determine that they're trailing your desired game instead of trash. It's not foolproof, but I have some ideas. And then also I have probably for the last 2 years, I have videoed training with training scent that I got from Graz. And Mr. Graz agreed today to send me some free lion scent. I've used like 2 bottles of that stuff in the last couple of years, and he's sending me a big bottle of it. And I don't know if I covered this last live or not, but I flew my drone with a string and a piece of cloth on the end in that lion scent and used it because, you know those dogs, if things smell that you walked and laid it. So I used the drone so they didn't have my scent there. Try the peak refuel meals. They're about my favorite. Oh, okay, I'll look that up. And thank you. I will. I gotta, keep thinking one of these days my YouTube channel will just take off when I'll have 50,000 subscribers and companies will be calling to sponsor my videos and I'll be able to hire an editor, but I don't know if that happens in the hound dog world. We're a pretty small niche. Okay, guys, anything else? I don't plan on it. Arizona Lion Hunter asked, are you going to do any snow hunting anytime? Unless it snows around here, I don't plan on it. Seth asked, do you have an extended range antenna for your Garmin? Ever the telescopic handheld one makes a big difference in Colorado. I got the long antenna on my Garmin, and I think I have a different antenna. Yeah, I got one you can screw in and hold up in a bag in there. I don't hardly use them anymore. Matter of fact, I don't use my Garmin a lot anymore. I mean, it's like a security for me to be there, but a good day is when I don't have to pull it out and look at it. The one thing I use it the most for is when I start out in the morning, I clear the trip data. And then in the evening when I come in, I look and see how many miles we've been. I'm always curious about that. And our travel speed and all that stuff. Desert Tramp. What's in the entertainment? Dogging not for everyone. Hound dogging is not for everyone. That's a fact. You either got it in your blood or you don't. I mean, I've taken guys with me and they, watch the dogs trail and they don't get nothing out of it. To me, it's just totally fascinating. If you're 100% sure you're on a lion track and you're going a lot right way and you watch the way those dogs are trail through that country and where that lion went, he comes over and he goes through this saddle and he breaks down below that ridge. You can tell, man, that sucker's hunting, he's in here. And it's just, to me, it's fascinating. And I like the dogs, man. I love to mess with the dogs. I can sit out there and clean dog pens and mix up hot dog food for my dogs and put sawdust in their dog houses, and that just makes me feel good. Anyway, guys, did you hit that like button? Crush that like button. And if you feel like it, I got that Patreon. I always hate to ask, but and I got some stickers coming. I ordered 100 stickers today, so those are going to be available somewhere. Good night, Frank. Rob, that's why I hunt with them, Robert. It's all about the hounds. Yep, it is. That's fact. Mark Webb, people are a small group. We must root for each other's success and stick together. Mark, you're right. And I do, man. Just like that Houndsman XP podcast, man, those guys are doing a good job. And then, all the guys that are, it's just we're a dying breed, So glad you took the time to get on here with us. Can't wait for some of those tips and vids. Thanks. You bet. Benji, I got to stay busy. Stay with it. I think your time is coming. Love you. Thank you, Marshall. I hope so. What time? Good night, Mel. I got all y'all stuff. So all the guys like Mel and Rob and all those guys that are in my Patreon, I'm sending you guys. That's why I asked for your mailing address. I'm sending you stickers. Arizona, they're trying to take away game cameras for most of the year in Arizona. Arizona Line Hunter, I have a lot of mixed feelings about the cameras. And, and I've debated. I had game cameras that sent the picture to your computer before they had these cell phone cameras. But sometimes I don't know if with the outfitters, if that's taken away a lot of the hunt. A lot of the and I know sometimes I feel like I owe it to the dogs to get some and put them out. Man, I like to just take the dogs, put them on the ground, free cast, and have the dog strike his own track, have him broke off game, and be able to trail that lion up and tree that lion, all from just the dog being on the ground. No leashes, no driving roads looking for a track, none of that. I mean, that's kind of my goal. It's been hard. Okay, Adden, where are you at? Adden, where are you located? I guess I can find out. I'll get on Instagram and I'll find out. I do Instagram. I'm kind of hit and miss with it. When I have service, when I'm out, I'll take a picture or something. Probably just the phone type, Desert Tramp. In still with the regular game cameras, I mean, if you're trying to catch lions and you got clients and you got hunters, I mean, if you know the country good enough and you know all the crossing points and the saddles, man, you can hire a guy to go check those cameras. Oh, okay, Socorro. You're up there by Jim Farmer. He's there in San Antonio. He's a good friend of mine. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate that. Okay, guys. I'm out of here. I enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do it again next Monday night. So watch the videos. If you have any questions about the video, shoot, ask me on the live. I apologize to my dogs when we spend the whole day and they don't get to run a cat. Yeah. Problem with my dogs is if I don't get to run a cat, usually they find something to run in the afternoon. Oh, that's good. He's a good guy. He's a good houndsman. He knows his hounds. He's one of the only guys I know that there for a while. He was consistently catching bobcats down on the river. Okay, guys. Take care. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you.